Welcome back to my spiritual journey podcast. So today we're going to focus on the twin flame journey, because with these callings, most of the time it's there's a twin flame journey with it. Okay, I say most of the time because I don't know if other people have experienced it without having a twin flame. So because what I've seen is usually you have a twin flame. All right, so the twin flame journey, they like to say runner, chaser. Sometimes you don't have that and you just have, honestly, a good relationship with your twin flame. Some people never get with their twin flame. It just doesn't work out that way. Or some people like to say that twin flames aren't just romantic relationships, that they just could be with whom you're going to be working with, outside of romance. It doesn't have to be romance. My experience is romance, okay? It can be difficult, The person can come, they go, they come, they go. Or if you're the so-called runner, which, like I said, it doesn't always have to be that way. But most of the time, I'm not going to lie, it is, you can be the runner too. You come and you go. You can't face certain things, it seems like, and you run. But I noticed that when you do run, or the person runs, whomever's running, right? It's for you to work on yourself. And then in the meantime, the other person also has to be working on themselves. But it kind of forces the other person to work on themselves. So when the person leaves, like that on and off relationship, when the person leaves, then the other person is faced with also working on themselves. Even if one seems right over the other, it's still a reflection. You're still reflecting each other, Your twin flame just means just the same as soulmate, just on the same vibration, but it's a bit strong. It's like the same soul that's split apart, feminine and masculine, to come back as one to learn the lesson of unconditional love, right? And that's why it can be complicated sometimes, We have to break down things and within us to get to that point, because it can be hard with trauma and all these things going on. And it's for you to overcome these things and come back to unconditional love, because the mission is to help the world evolve, right? If we don't know unconditional love, then how can we help the world to evolve? That's what it is, right? So our vibrations and our mission, because a lot of us have goals in mind to do that, to get to that point. Like, I know mine and my twin is to help so many people, but that's just they don't have underprivileged people don't have means or resources to get certain things done, or we want to add to that. We want to be able to build these resources for people and just help. There's a lot of things we have in mind, but that's just one thing that we have in mind, right? So our mission is to help people, but in our doing so, the way we speak, what we do, and the things that we are in our knowing about, we don't say believe in this channel. On this channel, we say knowing, because I don't believe, I know. So there's things that we know, and when you know how they say, when you're doing something, people will look at you and admire that and go, wait, you're living in your truth, by the way. You're not doing it for show. You're living in your truth. I want to say that. And you're living by example is what I'm trying to say. You're teaching by example, and people see that and they're like, oh, so what's this about? Whatever we're in our knowing about. I'm going to use the word belief because it's going to be easier for people to get what I'm saying. So beliefs, like some people are Christians. So people who are Christian like to live by example and teach by example, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever my spirituality is, which is not Christianity, it's something else. And just teaching and just living that way, teaching through the way I'm living by example, obviously. So is another thing, right? So I don't like to put things in people's face and say that they have to do this, they have to do that. No, You know, when I was Christian, I thought that was the right way. What do you do then? Like, you turn away from that. Thank goodness I wasn't a pressure. I don't pressure people, period. That's just not my personality. So thank goodness I didn't do that, because then it would look like, man, you see how hardcore you are about something and then you change, right? Because it was a journey, and I had to go through it to get to where I am today. And where I am today is very evident for me, like the things in my life, that this is where I belong, okay? So no, I'm not going to say anybody's right or wrong right now. It's not my thing. Don't do that. So, right. So twin flames. Twin flames. I'm a bit mellow today, guys. Usually I'm like all over the place. I'm a bit mellow today. So yeah. The twin flame journey can be rough, but at the end of the day, just know that you always have to work on yourself. Work on yourself. And you can't rely on people making you happy. And that's a lesson you have to learn, because maybe you are that type, but you're going to get there. You're going to get there. So for me, when I was younger, of course, you're like, oh, this person doesn't like me. You get sad or depressed. But then as time goes by, you know, these things shape you. Sometimes it's a little bit too much and make you jaded, you know, but hopefully you don't get to that point. If you are, then you can also still get out of it. It's not too late, because jaded doesn't help you. Don't worry about anybody else. It doesn't help you. Remember, you have to come first, and that's how everything else will fall into place anyway. Self-love is first. So when you love yourself, you realize, well, I don't need that person to make me happy. Why am I even crying over this? You can cry, you're human, but then not for too long, because it doesn't help you. Remember, it's you that comes first. Nobody wants to be in a state of constant anger or constant sadness, depression. Nobody wants to, and it's not an easy thing to come out of. But like I said, with time, it can work. You can do it. Okay, you can do all things. You are the one that, if you were once sad and depressed, that one day, if you're out of it, right, one day you said, I can't, I'm going to get up. Nobody put their magic hand down there and picked you up. Okay, you said that. Your thoughts, you did this. Okay, so give yourself credit. And that's another flaw of certain systems. We don't give ourselves enough credit in those systems, I'm going to call them. But on this channel, for me, it's you, and you got to give yourself credit, because you are brilliant. You are, guys, you're so much. You're everything. You have that in you. You are a creator. You're creating things in your life. It's you, you know. So you're the one that went on that job interview. You're the one that pushed yourself to go to school. You're the one that said, oh my God, I can't do this, but I'm going to study, and you passed, whatever. And failures are not truly what they say failures are, you know. It's just, a lot of times, to be honest with you, it's not for you. So it's like you didn't belong in the first place, and that's the universe taking you out of that, okay? So I'm talking about twin flames, and this is what I do. So ask my friends. This is what I do. I just go on different topics, because I just say what's on my mind, and it just comes out. And I think that means it's supposed to come out. So whoever needs to hear this, you know, it's just for you, okay? You're everything. You can do this, and you don't need someone else, not even your twin flame, okay? That's not how that works, all right? Like I said, some people don't even end up with their twin flame, because it just never, that person never evolved the way you were evolving, something like that, you know what I mean? And so it just didn't work this time, you know, for them. And you end up calling in on a soulmate, and that's just as good, you know. But for me personally, this is a big personal thing. So I'm both creative, like A and B type, right? But the A in me, the A type in me says, I want to do with the plan that I came here to do. So I try to stick my best with the twin flame thing. And like I said, if it doesn't work, trust me, I'm not past going to a soulmate. You know, I don't mind it, but I'm the type that goes, well, if I said that this was going to work before I came here, or this is the plan before I came here, then this is the plan. So that's my personality, just letting you guys know that. So if you are that kind, and you just want to, even if you're not, and you want to do what's best and you want to stick to the plan, then just know and be patient. It requires so much patience, guys. So much patience, okay? So remember, it's patience not just for the person where you're like, oh, they're not on my level yet. They're not woke. They're not this. Remember, if you're not coming together, that means you also have some things to work on too. You may not think so, but you do. Whether it be on yourself, personality traits, or whether it be, or toxic, I should say, personality traits. We know we are who we are. So I'm not going to say change being, something. I'm talking about toxic, like trauma that we picked up. All right, trauma. And it's like for you to work on those things, or your business if you have a business, or your career if you know what I mean. It's time for you to grow and work on yourself, and trust me, that time will fly, and you're like, that person comes back, however they come back. Trust me, I know. I'm only speaking this whole spiritual journey. I call it my spiritual journey podcast because this is my spiritual journey. So I know I'm speaking from example. I'm speaking from experience. All right, guys. So I could tell that I'm really, truly going to be all over the place with this one. So I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to keep it simple. 11:11 just passed, guys. So that was a sign. I am going to stop it here. And 11:11 is part of Twin Flame journey. That was not on purpose. I promise you, I'm not looking at the phone when I do this for so long. I'm looking around. So 11:11 is a part of that too. These signs 12:12. Numerology is pretty cool, guys. You should look into it, all right? And if you want me to do a video on that, I can as well. As a matter of fact, speaking of recommendations, if you have any, leave some in the comment section of what you feel like you need to know, okay? So I'm doing this for you guys. Honestly, really and truly. Look at I'm not getting paid. I just like to help, and I like to share. And this spiritual world that we want to be a part of, people like us who are called and chosen, things actually fall into place. Like I say, I'm doing this from my heart. YouTube happens to pay people to do things. Maybe one day I will. That's how it works for us, right? We do things from our heart, and then in time we get blessed. But this is from my heart, guys. I'm not doing it to get blessed in time. I'm doing it for you because I know that I need people to do this. Back then I needed this, is what I'm trying to say. And if I'm not clear, tell me and I'll be clear. If you need more assistance, let me know. If you need me to do a certain kind of video, let me know. Like I said, I'm here to help. All right. So just like when I started doing the medical ones, the health readings, you know why I did that? Because I couldn't find people who were doing them. And I was like, you know what? I'm a tarot reader. I'm going to do health readings because people want that. I know I sure did. So you give people what you would want. And that's what I wanted back then. So yeah, I never promote myself. So let me promote myself now. Listen, guys, I do spiritual advice, counseling, whatever you need, not just for your calling, if you need a relationship, anything. I have the link in the description box for all my services. I do tarot readings for people, and I have an Etsy shop that sells spiritual things. If you need sage, Palo Santo sticks, incense, etc. And I have another channel. I'll link it in the description box. Also, for my second channel is called Meditate Your Muse, and it is a meditation channel along with raising your vibration. And if you can't sleep, hey, use the sounds of the ocean and other things I have there to sleep. I'm slowly building the channel, but I could use your support on this channel and on the other one. And just all around, we are here to help each other. Trust me, I've helped plenty. It'd be nice to receive that back. No, I don't need it, but I'm asking. All right, guys, until next time, let me know how I did. I need some encouragement myself. I need some feedback, some insight from you guys. All right, take care.